All right, GOML Forever recap. So, first thing I want to point out is that GOML Forever is potentially the last GOML. Get on my level. Really, really good tournament. I really, really like this tournament. Probably my favorite tournament of the year, or second best, second favorite. My favorite three are definitely Genesis, SmashCon, and GOML. So I think it's kind of sad to possibly see this tournament go. Um, GOML is something I've always heard really, really good things about. Um, it's kind of sad to see like all these majors, like like Shine's not here anymore. Big House is no longer here. Um, and I really, really enjoy GOML. Everyone I've ever heard say that's been to GOML say it's an incredible event. It's always fun to watch. I always really like seeing these, the setups like the CRTs painted. The trophy's always really cool. Like they always just have like a nice spin, and it's also like probably the Canadian major. They did say that there is a possibility that they could host another one, which I hope they do, because this is definitely one of the tournaments I look forward to every year, especially, it's like around 4th of July weekend. So, usually people have off, so viewership is high, even though it's in Canada. Go US. But, you know, I really hope they get to host one next year. But this was HBox Josh Man. I'll get into sets later. But first, I do want to go over pools. Now, there were two big events that happened in pools. Or, yeah, two big events. I'm going to start with the first one and probably the most memorable one. Crudo, the 5 seed, losing to Rat Monster. Rat Monster having two upsets here against Preeminent and Crudo. Rat Monster, been in the radar for a while. Luigi from MDVA. He won the last Xanadu over Hacks. People have been talking about him for a while. He's really, really good. Um, like really good. This kid actually makes Luigi look pretty good. But these are good matchups for him. Preeminent, I think, is Fox, and Crudo is a Sheik. So probably matchups that are a little bit better than some other matchups like Falcon or Marth. Um, Crudo, I don't think played that good this tournament, but that's besides the point. Rat Monster with the upset over the 5 seed with Luigi. That's kind of crazy to make winners top 32. First, Luigi to do that since a bait in at Big House 5, which is a crazy stat because Big House 5 was in like 10 years ago. That was like 2015. So yeah, it's a really big deal. Now, the second big thing in pools that happened was Nikki got 33rd, the 8 seed, Ice Climbers, Fox Main. Um, I don't know if these sets were streamed. I kind of missed out on pools because it was Saturday and I was at 4th of July stuff. But um, losing the Morse code, I think this was pretty predictable, honestly. I predicted this upset at least. Um, Samus Ice Climbers doesn't sound fun for Ice Climbers. Plus, matchup inexperience. No one plays Samus anymore. This is like really the only Samus that's doing anything. I don't think the Swooper even plays the game anymore. Um, but congrats to Morse Code, obviously. Deserved win. He's really good Samus. Plays really well. And then Nikki also lost to Kevbot, which is crazy. A really big win for Kevbot. Um, I don't know where Kevbot's from. Northern California. Yeah, I've heard his name a lot. I know he's been doing a lot of stuff, but he hasn't really had like big placements, so that's a good win. Yeah, like these aren't like particular like rank 54, rank 90, rank 96. Like Nikki's a huge win. So I was just curious, maybe Nikki wasn't playing well or what, but Nikki busted out at 33rd. So on to the top 32. Anytime there's a top 32, top 64, whatever, day two, I always like to compile the character variety. I think character variety is very important, especially with the rise of more mid tiers, say like Donkey Kong, Luigi. you know, so Luigi here. 11 foxes. There's always about like 10 to 12 foxes, so that character's busted. Everyone loves that character. 5 Sheiks. Now, Sheik did not get a good placement. The highest placing Sheik was 17th. Um, there was only one winner's side that was Ben because Crudo lost, and they had to eliminate each other. These are 4 Sheiks right here: Spark, Inky, Zanya, Crudo, and then Ben. And they all suck. They all lost. I mean, this is just an unfortunate matchup. Like Slug, Inky, like probably Ice Climber's Sheik is not a good matchup for Sheik, but Crudo getting 3-0'd by Sunse. Yeah, and then Ben losing to Zamu and Josh Man. Anything unnotable? Falcon, 3 of them. Falcon's kind of been absent. I mean, Wizrobe is coming back. He's got the sponsorship again. He's with NV. Um, so it's nice to see Wizrobe back. And the other 2 were Salt, which Salt is goes to everything, and she's amazing. And None, which I'll talk about None later. I have a couple things to say. Yeah, this is the character variety. I did put Link's Aklo on here, even though he only played it against Zane, and got 3-0'd. But it was a close 3-0. Aklo made it close. And this was a really entertaining set. Yeah. So on to the top 32. If you're looking at the bracket, biggest things you'll probably see is Joshman beating Wizrobe. This was a fire set. And SDJ versus HBox. This is probably the set of the tournament. This is the set that everyone's going to remember. Because, well, let's just get into it. Of course, it's Puff versus Puff. So this is just really campy, you know, but it's Puff versus Puff, so it's not like there's nothing going on. Like you can see they're all moving, they're all spacing, they're all throwing stuff out there. It's just like the nature of the character. Like if you get hit in this matchup, like it's so bad. Like this is like 50% lead and SDJ just can camp it out. He could probably do this all the time, the whole time, you know? Um yeah. But this was a really entertaining set. I watched it live. Very, very good performance by both of these players this tournament. Um, Spoiler for top 8, HBox got second and SDJ got third. But the 2 things I do want to point out from this is that SDJ was up 2-0. And then game 3, something very silly happened. I'll put the commentary on, I'll just let it ride. I'll just let it ride. This is really funny. I think they all could have lived there though. I think that you could tech those. At least the first one you definitely could have teched. HBox pops off. SDJ up 2-0, and this was game 3. Also, what a crowd, by the way. GOML had a really, really big crowd, a really loud crowd. I really love when crowd presence is a thing, and it's been kind of declining. You know, some tournaments, like the smaller majors, don't really have that big of a crowd, but this was a pretty lively crowd. We do love Toronto, Canada. But the other thing I do want to point out is the last seconds of game 5. I'll also let this one ride out, the last 30 seconds. Player cams are amazing, by the way. These are the 2 most expressive players I've ever seen. Man, that was so hype. Crazy upset. Also, interesting stat. Nice SDJ chance. Interesting stat. That's first puff to beat HBox since Mango, or like ever. That first puff, like Mango was the only other puff that's beaten HBox. Um, Also, first ever puff since HBox, Mango, and Killer07. I think that's his name. Is that his name? Hold on, let me do some research real quick, because this was like a really really big stat. One of these tournaments, it was 2005. It was a puff, but fourth ever puff to top three at a major. Um, Congrats to SDJ from, I believe, Fort Worth, Texas, Texas rep. Um, yeah. Other sets, we got Joshua and Wizrobe. This is a really, really good set. Both of these players were playing really, really well in this tournament. This is a replay. But yeah, congrats to Josh, man. Josh, man, winning this set. I don't know what the match history was like between these two, but I think it was probably Wizrobe favored because Josh Man's been kind of popping off this last like year or so. Like he's a lot newer to the scene than Wizrobe is. But yeah, Josh Man played really well. Um, Probably the best Fox at this event. Cody wasn't on his A game. I think he was kind of more of on his B game. But other, I mean, this Zane Akla set 3-0, but Akla went Link. Um, Moki losing to Wizrobe. This is an upset, even though I don't know. I feel like it's pretty predictable. Wizrobe is just really cracked. Morse Code beating Sunsei. Uh, yeah, that's just a hard matchup, man. Like, who knows the Samus matchup? Morse Code losing to Amsa. This matchup looked horrid. I watched this game. uh, Yoshi looks like at 80-20 against Samus. I don't know how Samus plays that matchup. Amsa was straight up bullying Morse Code. Other notable sets. I mean, we have to talk about Rat Monster. Rat Monster almost beat SDJ. This was almost HBox versus Rat Monster, but they went to Game 5. Luigi Puff. I don't know what you do there. That's a hard matchup. It's surprised you took even 2 games, but went on a loser's run. Beat Slug. That's a really big upset. That was also streamed. And it was a good set. And then Wizrobe Rat Monster. I have that set right here. If I were to pick some sets to watch, it would be these 6. You watch Joshman, Wizrobe, HBox, SDJ, which I already showed the big events from this because this was the set. This is the best set of the tournament, absolutely. Rat Monster Wizrobe, Cody versus SDJ, which was winners finals. SDJ beats Cody here, sends Cody to losers and then Joshman HBox. This was losers, and then the grand finals, obviously. I'll talk about the pop off later. Um, Anything else I want to talk about for top 32? Well, I do want to get the salt tweets out of the way. So first, I want to go. Aklo was complaining about his seating. He was seated 15th, and obviously he's pretty mad because he faced Zane. Being seated 15th means you have to play the 2 seed, which was Zane, and obviously he was not happy. Getting 13th at GOML, losing to Zane and Amsa is annoying. Rigging the bracket for certain matchups to happen instead of seeding according to recent. What do you mean we're rigging the bracket, man? Come on. Being told to hurry up between sets. This was actually an issue. what happened was they played all of these. They had 2 sets streamed. I think the ones that were streamed were Moki Wizrobe and who else was on mainstream? I think it was Amsa Salt. And then after these sets all finished, they waited to have Zayn and Aklo on stream next. And then they had all these on stream. So they actually forced him to wait, and then it actually ended up holding up the entire bracket because obviously everyone in losers played their match, but Ossify was just like getting iced out because this match hadn't happened yet, and yeah, it was kind of cringe. I kind of agree with that though. Being told to slow, yeah. Seeding exists for a reason. Look, I'm gonna be honest, like the seeding, I see quote tweets. Probably not. I'm gonna see if I can look it up. Is he here? Probably not. Alright, but I think I memorized the seeding a little bit though. Cody 1, Zane 2, HBox 3. I think Crudo was 4. Yeah, Crudo was 4. Or no, that's not how seeding works. Moki was 3, HBox 4, Crudo 5. Looks like Joshman was 6, Amsa 7, and then 8 was Nikki, 9 Sunsei. So SDJ was 12. Like, I don't know. Aklo is having kind of a shit year. We can go into the Smashers app. I don't want to be on Aklo too long because I think he's kind of a bum for complaining that much about seeding. Like, come on, bro. Just win your matches. You've been a top player for long enough. You shouldn't be this privileged. Yeah, 9th at Full House, 9th at Tipped Off. And then, well, he placed 13th at GOML. Just see the majors. Bounce Bowl 7th, Genesis 13th. Okay, well, like, why was he seeded 15th? That's kind of crazy. I don't know, man. Seeding is hard, dude. Like, where do you seed like Wizrobe or like Slug? It's just so hard. I'm surprised Slug was over Aklo, honestly. But enough about Aklo. There's one more Salt tweet I want to talk about, and that's from my good boy Nan. I do love this guy, but man, he is a complainer. Yeah, praising GOML. Hey, does anyone know if Chem is a Zumper? My sources say yes, but need to confirm. Okay, if you don't know though, None has been complaining about Z Jump, and he's been just like mauling about it on Twitter, and it's just like he said some stuff. I think if you've seen the Josh Man video, he pointed out Nunn's stuff. Um, yeah, bro is mauling. None didn't even play good. I watched the set before this, None versus Jude. He almost lost to Jude, which is just like maybe rank 80 Marth, like last stock game 5. And he should have honestly lost that. But I think Jude kind of choked with like all of, I don't know their pronouns, so I'm just going to say their, all their like F smashes and stuff. So, yeah. On to, I mean, other than that, all I have to say, Rat Monster got 9th. That's a really, really high placement for a Luigi. Aura Assault. Aura made top 8. I haven't talked about Aura, but let's go into top 8. Cody Schwab and SDJ facing each other in winners. Zane and Joshman in winners as well. And then for losers, we got Amsa Hbox, Aura, and Wizrobe. Now, what? Clutchbox is the GOAT. Um, what a loser's run. I mean, you're not gonna beat Zane. He's so good against Puff. Zane is, and I think he just knows HBox playstyle to the point where it's just really hard for HBox to win there. HBox just has to be playing out of his mind. And Zane was just like on fire. Zane was probably the best person at this tournament, and that he deserved to win this. If I were to look at people who deserve to win, it was Zane. Like Zane was playing hot. SDJ and HBox were playing hot. Wizrobe was playing hot. Josh, man, if I might have already said that. Amsa was playing pretty decent too, but it's bad bracket, man. Unfor But yeah, STJ beating Cody Schwab, huge upset. Cody and then Wizrobe just steamrolling, man. Wizrobe was playing so good. This is the best I've seen Wizrobe play. I don't even think he played that well at Genesis X2. I think this is probably a better performance, at least gameplay wise. I think he just played out of his mind. But Hbox was doing pretty well. Being Josh, man, this set was so good. It's right here. Check this out if you haven't. Um, yeah. All I have to really say is Zane he went for the three-peat, wins 3 GOMLs in a row. Um, tied with HBox for the most, I think. I think they said that it was 3 Zane, 3 HBox. Cody's never won a GOML. Leffen's won 2. Um, and then Mango, I think, has won 2. 1 or 2. So, yeah, congrats to Zane. I think Zane winning is he ever since he did the um not the subathon, but like the where you got all 26 characters to Grandmaster, he's been kind of shaky. At Nines Invitational, he was just like so bad because he was just playing Bowser for 2 weeks. So he's actually locked in. He played really well. I think Cody, after getting fifth, it's a debate for who's number one. I mean, Cody won the last 3 majors, but I think Zane is making an argument now. I don't think you can decisively say that Zane is second. HBox probably getting third, probably ranked third right now, which is pretty insane to see that HBox is like climbing up the ranks again. I don't even know if he's been practicing more. I think he's just been playing better, like more locked in, not doing as much ultimate stuff because ultimate is dying. Um, all right, the last thing about GOML, I just want to point out some of these brackets because the others brackets honestly had a lot to be talking about, but I'm a melee guy. Street Fighter 6, Riddle's winning. Riddles is ex-Ultimate player who's now playing as a Terry main in Street Fighter 6. GOAT, by the way. Um, I love Riddles. The Richter incident, man. But also in Ultimate, this goes along with Rivals 2. So Rivals 2 happened before Ultimate Top 8. Um, Spargo got second, and he won Ultimate, which is crazy. He I don't know. He lost. Let me take you on a journey. Let's see where. Yeah, Spargo loses 3-0 to Mujin the Roy day one. This is Saturday. Top 32 happens on Sunday, and he makes it to top 32, right? Um, 11 game loser, 11 set losers run. He wins this. 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 And then he wins this, and he wins this. And he's just dumpstering everybody, bro. And then he goes to the reset. This I think it was game 5 of this one. He gets a 0 to death in like the first 10 seconds. Bro was just locked in. I don't know what else to say. Like he just had it. Also, MK Leo, huge losers run as well. Look, he beats Cola, he beats Hurt, he beats Wilds, Shuton, gets a DQ because Muta, I don't know, Mutas does this all the time. Mutas is such a bomb. Like, I'm not playing well, I'm DQing, whatever, whatever. Just play it out. Such pushy shit. Anyways, MK Leo beating Vendetta. I don't actually know why Mutas DQ'd. I might be insensitive there, but Mutas has done that in the past, and I think it's just so cringe. Yeah, MK Leo actually lost earlier than this than Spargo did. Spargo lost in like this set. Leo lost to a duck hunt. What the heck? And look at that losers run. Do love a good losers run even if it is ultimate. And it's also MK Leo and Spargo. Those two are the goats. We love MK Leo and Spargo. But anyways, thank you for listening to my rant. Special shout outs to Connor. He's the one I made this for because he wants to keep track of all these melee majors. I watch him live, and he doesn't have the attention span to watch him live, so I'm just the recap guy for him. Yeah.
Oh,
If you haven't watched these GOML sets, these 6. If you're to watch, like, if you want less to watch, if you don't want to watch all of these, HBox SDJ. If I mean, I showed you the clips. If you don't want to watch that, whatever. Joshman HBox was good. I mean, Grand Finals was good. Oh, I gotta talk about the pop off. Talk about the pop off. Also, Young Waff and Vish on the mic. Probably the two best commentators right now. Because I mean, Scar and Toph don't commentate, but I love watching these two guys on the mic.
oh no! Uh-oh. You got some jumps, though. You got jumps.
He's got one more. Oh,
you're crazy.
He's still living. No, he's not.
Okay.
Watch this. Watch this.
Taking it.
Bro did a cartwheel.
Bro did a cartwheel.
Bro did a cartwheel.
The 3-time GOML champion can also do cartwheels.
That's so sick. That was a sick pop off. He kind of stunted on HBox there. But anyways, yeah, watch the Grand Finals. Watch this. Watch Rat Monster Wizrobe. Those are a good set as well. Any of the Joshman sets, any of the Wizrobe sets, any of the Rat Monster sets, any of the HBox sets, honestly. I recommend. Anyways, yeah, that's been GOML forever.